Yeah. No.
What do you mean
Now
we're
my
about to go
microphone should
live?
be
We are
working.
live.
All right.
That'd be a nice
Professional as
change.
fuck. We are live. Welcome to another episode
Yeah.
of Knife Making Down Under. Yes, we're back. We're back. How are you, Corey? Long time no see, man.
Well, it's been a while, mate. It's been a while. So what's happening up there in the Hunter Valley?
It's been a
We
while.
just we've got nine people on now.
How-
We just give them a couple of minutes to. How we going, guys?
So you always make
Welcome.
fun of me and my computer skills,
That's because you're fucked.
but guess who's struggling with the computer? Guess who's struggling with technology tonight? Not me,
The
motherfucker.
the IT guru, the man that used to be IT tech
IT
support.
guru.
The IT tech support guy is not here, and I can hear him swearing wherever he is,
Yeah.
whatever he's doing. But he's not here, so we're going to push on relentlessly. Mert, you've been sending me some angry text messages recently, so tonight we're going to talk about selling knives and the wonderful, beautiful payment systems that exist out there, and we're going to name and shame, aren't we? We're going to name and shame.
Look, first of all, it's a disclaimer. I'm not a financial expert. Everything I'm going to say is based on the experiences I have. I'm not saying do this, do that. I'm saying if you do it like I did, this is what happens. Okay? So disclaimers. Don't use fucking PayPal. Disclaimer.
PayPal. Sorry, I got something in my throat.
PayPal.
PayPal. Yeah, it's like that. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that at some point. Just we'll let them know what we're going to do. We've got some giveaways. I got a whole bunch of knife making down under shirts. There it is. There, with the "fuck you, Kev" on the back. We've got heaps of those. Tools Who Make Tool shirts, and we're going to give some of those away. You guys can buy them at any time on Gamako Artisan Supplies website and help support the show. We've got some D2. We've got a big chunk of D2, 40 mil by 20 mil by, maybe 400 mil long, that you can take and make some maybe really big file guide or something out of. I don't know. We've got that. We've got a piece of W2, 900 long, maybe 4 mil thick, 50 mil wide, 900 long. So that's a decent bit of steel to give away. There was some G10, any color you want. We've got that to give away. So while we bullshit and get started and wait for everyone to join, jump in on the comments and let us know of, because honestly, we're just not clever enough to come up with anything. If you wouldn't mind just putting in the comments what you think the competition should be to win some prizes. And you guys go nuts in the comments there, and Mert will start talking about the last 3 weeks this has been going on, Mert? 3-4 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks and a bit. And I was hoping to do an episode last week, but luckily, we couldn't get the time right last week, and we couldn't get the episode recorded. But if we done a recording last week, I couldn't talk about a lot of the things because my case wasn't quite solved yet. And now my case is quite solved and it's done and dusted. I can make a lot of comments because if that guy, the scammer cunt, he was watching, he could be taking notes how to manipulate me. But now the case is closed. I can freely talk about it.
I'm all ears. So are we going to go launch right into a Mert tirade of anger and bitterness, or what are we going to do?
Well, it's been a long time, man. What have you been up to? Let's talk about what you've been up to. I haven't talked to you for a while.
It's been 3 weeks. Well, let's cut back 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, we were coming into Easter, so I took some time off, which I tend to do a fair bit. I did have at one point 34 weeks of accrued leave, and I've got that down to about 26 now. And I took some more time off, and I had Mr. Ian Stewart in the house, which was just wonderful. Had him up here for a few days, and he's finishing his barrel knife. Have you seen his barrel knife he made?
Yeah, my feed was full of barrel knife pictures.
Yeah, you get that. Sucks to be you. So he hasn't finished it yet that I've seen. Why is Corin? Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, he came up, had a great time. Oh, Stephen Eads came. He did some work on a barrel knife. Wayne Barrett came. Wade Knives came and dropped in for the day. We had a great day with him, and that was really nice. So that was before Easter, and then after Easter, I took the family and we drove out to Dubbo Jail, Dubbo Zoo, Parks Observatory, and back, doing a big loop through Mudgee and stuff, and just a bit of a car trek. So that was pretty nice, and had a pretty good time. Easter itself was pretty chilled and relaxed, and is what it is, really. Yeah. How about and then
Nice.
Yeah, this week, I have a very good friend of the family passed away a few years ago, and his wife and family contacted me and said, "Oh, we've got these swords." They said swords, lots of them that he collected, and would you mind coming and having a look and seeing if you can do anything about helping us sell them? So I drove out there, and there was a filing cabinet full of bayonets, 30 bayonets. What do you call that type of bayonet sword, Mert? You can say the word, not me.
Yeah, the one that you showed me earlier was inspired after the Yatan short sword. It has a recurve in it.
Yeah,
And
this
it's a
one's a
French model.
Yeah, that's right. This is another
No,
French
not
one,
that
which
one.
is a. No, I know. This one's a Cruciform Blade. See that? Got four points to it, 4 edges, and yeah, pretty intense. It's got heaps of them. I've got to try. I've been sort of just cataloging them and trying to work out what they all are. I don't know anything about bayonets. If anyone knows anything about bayonets and wants to help me, you're most welcome. And there was a few swords and stuff there as well, which I'm trying to just, as I say, just get on top of. I picked up a whole bunch of rubbish and things and that I got to throw out for them. But basically, other than that, it's just been work and funerals. Yeah. How about you? What's going on?
Oh man, head down, bum up, just trying to make stuff. Last 2 weeks, it's the school holidays, and anytime it's school holidays, my productivity goes to shit. And some days I have the kids, and my wife is working from home, and she has to be on the phone, and I gotta provide a quiet environment so the kids don't punch each other in the face, because that's my right, not their right.
Yeah.
I have to take him to like the daycare and all that stuff. So my productivity goes to shit anytime there's a school holiday, and I try to stay as busy as I can. I made sure I heat treated, forged every week. So when the kids were in the school in the daycare, I made sure like I forged a bunch of knives, and I did some semi, I did some stainless semi. I had some success and some failures. Annoyingly, the one that failed was for a custom order, so that really sucked. Like it looked good, and I ground it, and there was a little blob of DLM, so that sucks. I gotta redo it. Yeah, just trying to work on the few orders, and yeah, it's been mostly to be honest, what I've been dealing was trying to deal around this PayPal and this bullshit. So I guess if you guys are ready, I'll get in the story.
Who
I'll
wants
shut
to
the
hear
chat
about
gate.
Mert's
Chat.
PayPal woes? Okay, so while Mert does that, Stephen Eads reckons that the competition should be the listener whose name sounds the most like Stephen Eads. Oh boy, I've been waiting for this rant, says Adam Solari. Adam, I've been trying to avoid it, but we keep getting it on Signal all the time. It's constant rant. And it's shit, really. It's been a real shit time. Do you want to start at the beginning? Give it a go.
Yeah, sure. Like the way it started was I posted a knife on my Instagram account and saying this knife is available for sale. Somebody reached out and said, "Hey, I'm buying it." I said, "That's great. Send me the address." And I gave them the money in. I gave the quote in US dollars because most of my clients, I will say like 70% of my clients are from North America, including Canada and USA. So I gave the price in US dollars. The guy paid, and I realized it said Sydney address. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I sent the knife. I send knife, like I'm waiting for a knife to arrive. And then a couple days later, this guy is asking for a custom knife. And he's asking like, hey, can you make me, like, he's pretty much saying, make, what's your steels? What do you use? What's the best thing that you do? He's clearly not the knife person, which is fine. And I'm trying to guide him through like what the options I have and all that. So I showed him the picture of differentially hardened 26C3 spicy white, and I said, if you want something like this is the price. If you want a 52-100 straight carbon steel, this is the price. If you want a Damascus, this is the price. I didn't go full on crazy like, oh, if you want a Damascus steel, if you want a Damascus integral, and I gave him a few options, and he said, hey, I want the spicy white with the hum on. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then he said, but I also want the walrus ivory handle. Now, first he said ebony. I'm like this ebony I showed him the picture, because one thing that I don't do is I don't assume that people know what they're talking about. If somebody says, hey, I want this kind of handle, I show the picture. Is it what you're talking about? So I'm trying to make sure they understand what they're asking versus what I have is the same thing, because not everybody knows the names of the exotic timbers and stuff like that. So I showed them the handle ebony. It's like, no, I thought ebony was white. I'm like, no. Ebony is black. If you're looking for the pure white stuff, that's ivory. That's walrus ivory. I don't use elephant ivory, obviously, because of the bands and all that. So he wanted the entire handle to be made out of the walrus ivory. I said, look, I'll make that, but if you want me to buy a whole big chunk of walrus ivory, I have to charge you that upfront, because I have to buy that shit. It's not something that I carry in the house all the time, and I have to spend money to buy it. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I said, send me the money for the walrus ivory. Once your knife is ready, I'll charge you for the rest of the knife. I gave him the code, and he's happy. Okay, there we go. So he sent the funds for the walrus ivory. A couple days later, he said, hey, man, the knife that you sent me hasn't arrived. Okay, I sent the knife with the insurance, but I haven't insured for the whole thing. My only time that I haven't sent something with the full insurance. And I gone to my post office, and my post office like, you sent something with insurance and with the signature. There's no way they're leaving that on the street. The guy claimed that the knife was left on the street, it was gone, and the whole case was open with the Australian Post, and Australian Post gave me the half of gave me the insurance, which was the half of the knife. So I had to make a new one. I'm like, fuck, it is what it is. I'll make you a new one. Then this guy buys a knife out of an auction, which knife clearly says this knife is made for right-handed person. He buys a paring knife, and I send him the knife, and he's like, oh, this is right-handed. Don't you know I'm left-handed? I'm like, bro, it just said it's clearly right-handed. Why are you buying it? He's like, oh, you know I'm left-handed. Okay, fuck, just send me the knife. He sends me the knife. I change the handle to left-handed knife. Then I make the replacement knife for this guy, and I send them all together. And then I'm making his custom knife. And while I'm doing it, he sends me a message saying, hey, I want to finish the custom knife that you're making. I want to have the same finish as the paring knife. The paring knife I did was a 52-100 semi. I'm like, yeah, no worries. And because 52-100 I do looks a bit more cloudy, with the cladding looks a bit more crazy than the usual stuff I do. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, I guess this is what he wants. I made him a 52-100 semi because that's the steel that he was. I made him. And I showed him the pictures. I made the handle. Everything's like, yeah, I love it. Everything great. I posted the link. I posted on Instagram. I posted saying, these are now matching set. They're both 52-100 semi. And he got the knife. Everything is great. I haven't heard back from him in 2 months. 2 months later, that's like a few weeks ago, gotten a message, why you charge me extra? I'm like, what do you mean? My friend said, you charging 500 less than what you charge me. You charge me like inferior, you gave me inferior steel. Like, no. You said you want the semi for this steel. I gave you that. The semi and differential hardened steel, spicy white or 52-100, same money. Because the same money, I didn't bother. And he's like, no. You said 52-100 was like $500 less than what you said. Like, no. So basically, this confused cunt, I explained him. Then everything looked normal. Then 1 day later, he said, oh, a friend of mine says, you're charging this much for this knife, and you charge me extra. Like, no, man, I have not charged extra. Then he goes away. Next day, he comes back again, sends me a message. I want my money back. You gave me inferior steel. You're supposed to give me spicy white, you gave me inferior 50 to 100. Like, mate, they're not inferior to one the other. They're different steel. They're both my go-to steels. I'm not sending any fucking inferior stuff. And the guy was really upset. And I'm like, why? Where are you getting these numbers? Who's telling you that I'm selling $500 less than what you got quoted? It's like, oh, I got a friend. I got a jealous friend. He gets angry if somebody has something nicer than him. I'm like, mate, this is what I've done. Like, just shut the fuck up. I didn't say shut the fuck up. Even before the replacement knife, I gave this cunt Honduras rosewood burr handle. Just to like, the first knife got missing, fuck it. He wanted it, and I didn't even charge it. So then this guy, next day, he started calling me, I'm a scammer. And I'm like, no, I'm not a fucking scammer. And he's saying, I want my money back. Like, bro, you asked for a fucking left-handed knife that has a walrus ivory handle. It's not a stock standard item. I made a custom for you. I'm not making a new one. He's like, I want my money back. No, I'm not giving you money back. He's like, oh, I want a new knife. No, you're not getting a fucking new knife. And I realized this guy was about the something. This wasn't about like somebody not being happy. Look, I've been making knives for 7 years and sold over 400, 500 knives. And if you do the numbers game, every 100th person, there's 1 or 2 people you will not please, regardless of what you've done. It's the same thing in hospitality. Even when I worked in the best restaurants, like best hotels in the city, that was the ratio. You could not please 1 out of 100, regardless of what you've done. And I have a feeling this guy is a scammer cunt. And I called Dominic Binkert of DB Blades, because he had an episode with the PayPal, and I remember him struggling and saying that he will never use PayPal. I was kind of shocked. And I also remember talking to Alpha Knife Supply once. I was trying to get some titanium of US, and I was trying to deal with the Alpha Knife Supply, and they were like, we don't do PayPal. I'm like, what do you mean you don't do PayPal? And they were like, oh, there's so many scammers, we will not do PayPal. And I was like, I didn't understand back then. And pretty much they were saying, hold my beer. So I talked to Dominic Binker. Dom said, the guy is probably going to file you a case. And I took all of my money out of PayPal. And I had nothing in the PayPal. I'm like, yeah, I'll be fine. If he files a claim, fuck it, he files a claim. But what happened was, I wake up, this guy filed a claim on PayPal saying that I charged him $500 extra than what I'm supposed to, opens the case. And same night, while I was sleeping, I forgot to turn off my website, which is linked to PayPal. Somebody bought a knife off my website, and PayPal took $500 out of my account. So the way PayPal works is, if somebody has a claim against you, you are guilty until you prove yourself innocence. And in PayPal's case, customer's always right. If you're a seller, you're dodgy. So I woke up to that, and I sent my reply with all the screenshots with the guy changing his order, with him receiving the knife, saying, hey, it looks great, I'm very happy, thank you very much, and all that. Now changing it. I sent the whole thing with the pictures, with the attached pictures, the screenshots. And the guy's claim is, oh, this guy's not a trusted seller. He charged me 500. He's a dodgy. He's a scammer. Yeah, I'm at that point, I'm fucking losing my shit. I wrote a 2-page long shit to PayPal with the screenshots saying, this is what the guy ordered. Check picture 1. This is what he changed to, check picture 2. And I'm waiting. I'm like, yeah, I got everything I need to do, and PayPal's going to find me right. You thought so, did you? And next day, fucking PayPal sends me a message saying, we found the customer right. Fuck you. So PayPal sends me a message saying, this guy has to send the knife back, and I have to refund him $1,400. But there's one thing. The guy has to send the knife in 10 days, and the knife has to be in unused condition, which is not possible because the cunt has been using the knife for 2 months. And while I'm thinking, he's not going to send the knife. And next day, he opens another case because of the custom handle. And I'm really getting fucking angry. I'm not even replying to the case. I'm like, fuck it. And at that point, I turn my website off because I don't want to be selling off the website, because when PayPal opens a case, if they open a case for you for $100, they take $100 out of your account. And in that case, they're taking $1,200 out of my account. So my account is minus $1,200 US, and it says, if you want to resolve this case, please top up with money. Fuck you, I'm not topping up with shit. So anyway, I'm not replying to this guy. And I called PayPal once. The guy on the phone was fucking useless. And the customer had to send the knife back in 10 days. The 11th day, I called PayPal. Luckily, this time, the guy I was talking on the phone he was semi-competent. And I was saying, okay, first of all, I want you to guys explain why you guys found the customer right. And the guy's like, oh, let me just read your file. I said, I got plenty of time. Please read. Check all the screenshots. Check all what he wrote against mine, and check the second case too. And the guy's like, oh, fuck. I can tell, like, the guy's frustrated. He's like, look, man, I'm sorry. And he's like, what? He said, are you making these custom? Like, yeah, this is a custom made for the guy's liking. And then the guy realizes the first person who took the case didn't even bother fucking reading my notes. Because in my notes, I clearly say this is a custom order. Per PayPal's rules, anything that you make custom is not covered under protection laws, because you're making one-to order. You don't get to change your mind saying, oh, this is not what I ordered. This is different than I asked for, because you're making something one thing. So any custom knife makers out there, like they can relax a bit. But if you're selling production items, you can still get fucked, because they can say it's different than what's been described. So the guy says, look, man, I'm sorry. We should have never granted the case, let alone accepting it, let alone finding the guy right. He drops the second case. I got an email saying that second case is dropped. They put the $1,200 back to my account, which means like my account is zero now. I got nothing. Then 5 minutes later, I got another email from PayPal saying that they dropped the first case too. But in that case, when that happens, this is an internal mistake that PayPal did. Because it's an internal mistake, PayPal is taking one to the chin. So they're refunding the guy. The guy gets all the money that he claimed, plus he gets to keep the knife. And me, I'm not anything out of my pocket. To make things more interesting, I'm on Facebook. 2 minutes later, I see on one of the groups, Australian custom knife sales, this scammer cunt is trying to sell both of those knives. So the replacement knife that I did, most likely he has the original knife sitting at home. He's trying to sell that, plus he's trying to sell the knife that he had a claim against. So he got the full money, whatever he is asking for. Now he's trying to double dip. He's trying to sell the knife that he got all refunded for. Not out of my pocket, from PayPal's pocket, but the guy was trying to sell the knife. So I reported it, and I talked to the mods of the group, and luckily the guy took the post down. And I was waiting for this case to be solved before I did say anything. But my lesson, my biggest takeaway is, if you are selling knives, don't ever fucking use PayPal. Not just this case. So what happened was, when my account was frozen, I decided to sell something through my wife's account. And it was to a good customer of mine. The guy bought the knife. I gave my wife's PayPal. He sent the money. All of a sudden, PayPal decided to hold that money, saying that this is suspicious activity. We're holding it because you may have done something dodgy. And they're saying they need a tracking number so I can prove that actually we were sending something to him. I gave the tracking number, and there's a tracking number. The knife got picked up from the courier. So the knife is on the way, and we send the tracking. We're waiting that it'll be resolved. Then we got another email from PayPal saying your funds are to be upheld till 22nd of April. So I send the knife. PayPal might decide, oh, we don't, and it's my wife's account, not even my account. So I have to wait till 22nd. I refunded the money, made a desperate effort to DHL saying, please return the knife. I ate $120 worth of shipping because it was insured for a high grade knife. So came back, and in that time, I realized I had to find different options. Then I asked people who were going through similar problems to what the solutions are. And luckily, a lot of people were helping and saying, use these platforms and that platforms. And what I've done was, for my website, I started using Stripe, which is a credit card-based solution. So anybody now who's buying shit off my website, I'm using Stripe. And for other options, I'm also using something called as TransferWise. So TransferWise is just like a bank account. So I have an Australian account in the TransferWise, and I have a US account. So if somebody wants to send me money from Australia, that's easy. That can be done. But if somebody wants to send money to me from US, they're pretty much just doing a US EFT between US banks. And my TransferWise that's based in US is sending money to my Australian bank account. And they're probably like cutting only like a $1, $1 or $2 for like $300, $400. So with the PayPal, if I had something up for sale for $500 US, with their conversion rates, I was barely getting $500. And you can say, oh, why don't you sell in Australian dollars? Most of my clients are based in US. If you put shit in Australian dollars, it throws a lot of people in overseas off. I'm not going to go into details why, but so I was getting barely 500 Australian
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because they can't even use the metric system, which is based on their 10 fucking fingers, mate. So how are they going to convert currency? Anyway, never mind.
I didn't want to go there. I know the reasons, but so I'm now using TransferWise. I also have a Western Union. So I've done sales via Western Union before. Western Union is safe. And again, if you're sending money, it's not guaranteed that anybody you're sending money is going to do the shit. But with the PayPal, you're paying something called a seller's protection fee. You're getting nothing. So somebody who bought something off you up to 180 days can file a claim on you. Think about this, Corin. Think about this. Like you guys are allowed PayPal.
I know.
I don't want to.
Yeah, I do. We get people do it. We get people.
Somebody
do it.
who.
Like, I mean, what can I do? I
180 days. Like.
Yeah, it's fucked. Anyway, mate, I'm just going to comment. You're having a go. We've got a customer here, Bronson Amos, who says he's got a little comment here. I don't give a stuff about the giveaways, but I'd like the stuff I ordered 3 weeks ago or tracking for it. And I'm guessing he's talking about Gamako. Obviously, it's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm recording a podcast at the moment, Bronson. But if you get in touch with me with the details of your order, I'll get onto that first thing in the morning.
Sorry? He bought a knife. I told him to fuck off. He bought a knife, and I told him to fuck off. No, it's not.
Oh, so it's not from Gamako. Oh, it's from me. So it is from me. Bronson, so do me a favor, mate. Just flick me a message. It's not that hard, and I'll get on it. I can tell you that we're turning orders around within 2 days, mostly at the moment. So there should be, if there's some reason your orders slip through the cracks or something's happened, we'll find it out. We'll get it fixed to your satisfaction. I'm sorry you've had that experience, mate. It does happen, but you shouldn't need to wait 3 weeks. And I'm here, and you can contact me on Facebook. If you can comment on this, you can comment on our live podcast. Yeah, I'm sure as shit you can write me a little message on Facebook, and I'll get right on top of that for you, champ. Fuck me. All right, Mert, you'll go. What are we doing next? All right. So now the long and the short of it, Mert, is what I read between the lines was. What I read between the lines was
when I start talking about oh fuck.
Yeah, you got yourself a lag again, son.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sorted.
Yeah.
All right. While we wait for Mert to get his lag out.
I'm listening. What you were saying, Corin.
But there's just anyway. Scotty Gregan says, huge thanks to the Gamako team for the Easter meat.
It's not lag, it's Hefeweizen.
Ian Ronalds jumped in there. He's going to chase your order, Bronson, first thing in the morning. Rod Mole says, who does that shit on a live broadcast? Tosser. Fair call. But we'll get it sorted, mate. You just need to get in touch with me or the team. We're all there to help you. There's a bunch of guys. We're all keen to make sure you have a good experience. So if you don't have a good experience, anybody out there, just get in touch. Just send me a message and I'll get on it. Tony Earwake has been in surgery. Out of action for 8 weeks. What the fuck? What have you done, Tony? Mert, are you going now? Mert's not flying. So here we go. So there we go. I'm flying solo by the look of it. Oh, Kevin's having his computer problems. Mert's bailed, and we're going from there. So let's go. Let's have a couple of competitions and get this show on the road.
I was waiting for you to be done, but can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mert, but I'm guessing that there's a lag. Mert, you're just going to have to go and reboot. I'm booting you from the studio just to stop you talking, and then come back on when you've rebooted. All right, happy days. So let's have a couple of competitions. I'm keen. First up, if first person who comments on the crystal structure of steel, that's hardest. What we're converting it to when we quench. First person that comments the crystal structure of steel, what's the hardest one? Oh shit! Can have themselves a t-shirt. Here we go. Oh, Martin Sight. Hey, Bo Smith. Good on you, mate. Bo Smith's the winner in that one. Just a minute though, because we've got some shit going on in the background here. I'll come back to it, Bo. Timmy's got to get Timmy. Knife maker.
With a lot to learn. It's Timmy. He's a handful of trouble at every
Timmy,
turn.
what's going on?
Timmy leaves the
Gamako Artisan Supplies.
and goes out into the trying to be cool, he's number one. He joins all his friends
Knife Making Down Under podcast.
and he's always having such a lot of fun. Timmy, it's Timmy.
Hear me?
Oh, sorry, I can stop dancing now. There we go, fellas. Timmy's here. So, Timmy, you got your pen and pencil there. Bo Smith, he won himself. What did I say he was going to win? Fucking, I don't know, t-shirts. Send him some t-shirts. Send him what he wants. I don't really care particularly.
Send me a message.
Oh, Bo Smith, send Timmy a message and tell him if you want to. Yeah, you want the t-shirts, don't you? Yeah, they're the best. Get that. Whether it's awesome steel or something, I don't know. Better work that out quick because I'm going to give away more stuff in a second. Bert, you back? Are you laggy or are you okay? I'm going to go with laggy. All right.
He just
On
looks
that
I'm
note-
back, man. Is Timmy coming?
Oh my fucking god! No amount
That
of
right here.
editing could ever
Timmy coming?
make this a good podcast. For fuck's sake! Sorry, Mert.
Oh, g'day everybody.
Boom.
Oh, he's gone.
Sorry, Mert.
He's gone.
Sorry, but he's got to sort it out. All right. I don't know. This is steel and G10 would. Jesus Christ, Bo. Pick yourself. Pick one. Steel or G10. W2, 26C. What have we got, Timmy? 26C3. The W2 is a big piece of W2. And there's a big piece of D2 that's like a big block of D2.
It's a big chunky boy.
And there's t-shirts. So yeah, G10, 8mm sheet of G10. Just pick one of those and send Timmy a message. Well, just do it now so that I know and I can give away another one. Timmy, what the fuck's happening?
G'day.
Yeah. I'm going to add Mert to the stream again. I know that this is fraught with disaster, but we'll see what happens. Timmy, what's happening?
Okay. What's happening? Oh, well. Do you want to tell the news or should I tell the news?
I don't know. What news? Oh, Cole's news. That was news from a few weeks ago. So for those that don't know, Cole's gone into full-time knife making, and we wish him well with his new venture. So he's gone out on his own doing his own thing. So make sure you follow him at Blue Mountains Knife and Tool and see what he does because he's full-time. So all power to him. There's been some changes in the office that have seen young Lewis and Tempany, who have been with us for a long time, have moved into a more customer service based roles. And actually, they're both making knives today at Keith Flutter's forge and tomorrow. So they're both doing some knife making with Keith Flutter, which is pretty cool. So hopefully they have a good time. So that's probably the big news. People will miss him greatly. Yeah, we will too, mate. It is what it is. We just we'll get through it. It's all good, and we wish him well. Raymond Davies, how's the sandpaper bolt buy going? There's a question for you there, Timmy.
I called up the supplier today. It's on its way. It should be here by the end of the week, and so we should have all your orders out pretty soon.
Pretty soon. So that'll fuck everything up in the warehouse. So if you want to order something, is it end of this week or end of next week?
It should get here by the end of this week. Yeah.
Well, that would be tomorrow, Tim.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it should get it tomorrow or early next week then.
Yeah.
We've also had some issues with our website. If you have noticed any interruptions, we were hosting our website on a shared server, and someone else on the server got DDoSed, so their website got attacked, and that's really caused some issues for us. It's caused a lot of drama, caused a few headaches, but everything seems to be running okay at the moment. But if you do experience any issues, just email us or call us during the day, and we'll get things sorted for you. If you need an order or anything like that, just give us a call.
Yeah. Cool. So basically that'll fuck up the warehouse for a few days, and we'll be back to we'll be running a little bit behind, but we weren't running behind. We've been running pretty much on the next day basically, and 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for us. There's a lot of orders coming through. There's a lot of people working down there getting them packed, and it's it's a bit of a challenge. What else we got, Timmy?
We're planning a G10 bulk buy, which should be going live tomorrow. We're just getting some expressions of interest for tomorrow, but that should be going live early next week.
Yeah, when the website's back on full capacity, right? So sometime around Tuesday. If you're not on the bulk buy group, get on the bulk buy group, and you'll find all the information about it. Will be up there.
That's it.
I believe we're doing eight sets of scales for the price of 2.
That's it. So a full sheet of 8 mil is what we're looking at doing and getting from our supplier, and it's a great deal. Like even I would buy it at that price, and I don't make knives anymore. So
basically it'll be 8 sets of scales for the price of 2, but they'll be in a sheet form, 300 by 340. So that's pretty epic. Obviously all in the same color because they're all in the same sheet. You have to cut it up. That's the deal. What else, Tim?
Adam Solari asked a question about carrying Stanvix. We are getting more 12 and 14C in strip form. It's at the Waterjet at the moment, so it should be back. As far as I'm aware, I got a call from them earlier in the week. That should be delivered next week. The Waterjet can be a little bit finicky though. It can take a little bit longer than we expect. So that should be arriving next week, but it might be the week after. That should also come with a bunch of 1075 as well. So we should have both 12 and 14C and some 1075, which is some really solid steels, back in stock soon.
So a question from Adam Solari about, will Gamako ever carry Stanvix stainless again?
I just answered that.
Oh yeah, right. Fuck, sorry. Okay, Mike Bandala is asking about the heat treating service.
So at the moment, we've permanently suspended our heat treating service. Just without coal wasn't really something we can do. It's something I wish I could do, but we're just a little bit limited with time, and when we want to be able to offer the best services that we can, And if we would offer a heat treating service, we'd be pulling lead times out even longer than what they were. But there are still plenty of really great heat treating services like RJ Heat Treatment and Hills, which you can send your stuff to.
Yeah. All right, Bradley. So, Mert, let's give it another go, mate. Can you hear us now? I don't know how long that lag is, but that's epic, isn't it? That's epic.
Come on, Tim. You'll be fine, man. You can do it.
That's got to be a good 20 seconds, doesn't it?
Oh, Matt.
That lag, Mert. It's killer.
No wonder
right.
PayPal suspended you.
More sheets of micarta and G10 around D2, please, Timothy. Boom.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Jay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, that's more than that's got to be like a minute behind. That's like a minute behind. That's insane.
That's probably some of the best we've gotten yet. I mean, I'm surprised it's still moving slightly.
I know. Jeez.
Oh, I think you just heard my PayPal comment.
I know. We can say anything we want, and he won't even get angry for like a minute.
A full minute. Oh, boy. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
Just thought better of it. He bailed. Oh, there we go. Well, Timmy, you can stick on for us. So we've got a few questions there. Timmy, it's you and me for the last surviving players, I'd say. And we've got to give away a few things. We may as well get that done and we'll call it quits. It'll be a short podcast, but people will cope. Frank Lupino wants to know about any word on the symposium for this year. Last I heard, it was being talked about for later in the year. It's for September is what we've postponed it to. And all things being equal, we're going to do everything we can to run it in September, which is still 5 months away. We're not going to start promoting and taking payments until the last minute. Please understand, COVID situation, things can change on a dime. We're really looking forward to getting back to normality. So we really want it to go ahead. I'm really keen to get out and get going again. But there we go. James.
I'm looking forward to night shows again when they can go ahead. I think we all are. So as soon as it's workable, I'm sure that they'll be going ahead.
Are we getting more 2mm 12C or 14C?
Yes, there'll be plenty of that. Plenty of that.
Excellent. Are we going to have a knife show this year? Yeah, we can hear you, Mert. The question is, when can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Oh, God, love it. All right, get that man some more broadband, I reckon. What do you call it? That NBN shit. Need some light. So are we having any knife shows this year? Look, guys, look.
The Melbourne one will probably be next year.
Do whatever we can. Do whatever we can. All right, so let's give away some shit, Timmy, and wrap this up. This isn't going to work tonight. It's just not happening. So let's give away some shit. What did that other guy take? Did he make up his mind?
Bo,
was it? I'll just scroll back up. Bo Smith, cool, G10. He's taking G10 in, please, in black. So good. Bo, you talk to Timmy. So that means we've got the W2. So for our next piece, it's a piece of W2. It's about 900 millimeters long, give or take something, and it's about 50 mil wide, about 4 millimeters thick. Don't hold me to any of those dimensions. It is free. Rock and roll. What are we going to do to get it, Tim?
Oh boy, I thought you had
I didn't. I thought about planning a lot. I thought about planning all day.
Thought about planning it, but not actually. Yeah.
And okay, what's the name of the clamps we sell, guys? What's the name of the clamps we sell? Let's go. Who can talk the fastest?
Not quite, man. Not quite. Oh, come on,
right.
guys. I can type faster than
Here we
this.
go. Here we go. Should we just go with the Bo was the that's fucked up. Bo was the first with the full name, but they can't. Corey Cunningham can have that. Corey Cunningham, you got the piece of W2. Send Tim a message. Remind him that you want a W2 because sure as shit we'll forget. And he'll get that organised for you. Bert, you want to give away the next thing? Because we don't have that much time, son. So, what do we got next? We got that big block of D2.
Sure, man. What am I giving?
Big ugly block of D2.
What am I giving away?
Oh, at least 30 seconds of my life, mate. At least 30 seconds of my life. That's what I'm giving away every time I talk to you. It's not working. So we're going to give away a big block of D2. Who wants it? 40 mil by 20 mil by about 400 millimeters long. It's sitting under my desk. It's been there for a while, and I don't want it. So we're going to give it away to what, Timmy? Give me something, dude.
I've sent some questions in the private chat.
Oh, where's the private chat? Oh, fuck. I didn't even know that was there. I don't even know the answer.
Well, I do.
Yeah, compound.
Surely you know that.
Oh, well, okay. No, fair enough. Okay, so bulk buys are a big thing for Gamako Artisan Supplies. It's what we do, and it's happened for a long time. What was the first bulk buy that I ran for the knife industry? Who knows? Liam wants to make a stock removal integral, but I think he's already got a bit of that D2. But 40 mil, 20 mil.
A bit of the D2.
And the winner is Facebook user. Facebook user.
No.
Sorry, can't give it to Facebook user. But you were right. So it's going to Pierre Meflin. There we go. Pierre got it. Pierre was in on the first bulk buy, which was steel. And he was in on maybe the second or third. And in fact, every bulk buy I think Pierre's been in on forever. He got in on that. Yeah. And he was the first to get in on the bulk buy of grinders. Me, Dimitri, Pierre, and somebody else. There was 4 of us. And that was the first bulk buy on grinders from the States. 4 grinders.
And look where we are now.
2013. Yeah, 2013. So we've come a long way since then. So well done, Pierre. Much deservedly won yourself a huge piece of D2. Oh, here we go. This is a tricky one. Now we need someone for we probably need to have one for the people that can't type real quick, eh? I don't know. What's the anti-scale compound that we sell? What's it called? Who knows that? Who knows what the anti-scale compound we sell is? This is for, I think we're up to T-shirts, aren't we? 2 T-shirts. ATS 64, Timmy. AT4. ATC.
That's a new one.
ATP 641. ATP something. Satnite.
Oh, there we go.
Which one?
Is it Liam? I think Liam said it first.
Is that what it is?
ATP 641, yeah. Yeah.
Liam Lynch.
There you go.
Good on you, Liam.
There you go. I thought it was something else anyway. Fuck it. There you go. It shows what I know. All right, Liam Lynch. Send Timmy your shirt size and he'll send you a shirt. Did we give away the 26C3? That's been under my desk for fucking ages. I want to give that away for sure. Did we give that away? Give me another question, Timmy. Give me another question.
Yeah, a question.
What are we going to give them? Private chat. Good on you, man. I never knew we had it. Oh.
Oh, no. I've done it now, guys. Oh, boy. How's everyone doing tonight? Oh, man.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fuck, why there's a delay sometimes and there's no fucking delay.
Man.
Oh, he's back.
Okay, anyway. So The question is, did you give him the question?
Do you want
Who
a question?
knows?
No, I didn't get it.
Who knows what is a Horde ram? What is a Horde ram?
By
Come
the
on.
way, Core, it's available on Gamako's website.
I think someone might have taken it down. I did have it up there for a long time, but they didn't see the humor in it, I don't think. Maybe they can Google it.
Boring.
Horde ram. Oh, yeah, no, it's still there. $329,000. It's gone up with every price rise. Love it. $329,000 will score you a genuine Horde ram. Still there.
How many comments that thread had on Facebook?
Literal
Over
thousands.
1,000 comments, literally thousands. So if you don't know the Horde ram post, this goes back to the early days of the industry. And if I can just explain, oh my God, there's there's a lot of comments. We'll come back to the comments in a second. So what happened in what happens on Facebook, if you into social media, what happens on Facebook is that people post up on there a picture of something. They put some words next to it. Nobody reads the words except for maybe the first line, and then they comment. They don't read. And so this guy puts up a post and says, I found this in the backyard. Now I need to think about what I want to do with it. And everyone started commenting because it was a moil, a big excavator hammer bit. Everyone said it's a moil, and it was like 100 comments saying it's a moil, and no one's read all the comments before, and it just got fucking hilarious because everyone started commenting on it, and it turned into the Horde ram post, which still exists somewhere out there in the Australian blacksmiths and knife making community. The Horde ram absolutely was the great thing, and it kind of was a baptism into the industry to sit there and read the thousands of comments, which got more and more amusing the more drunk we got that evening, and the more people just kept coming on and saying it's a moil, and every so often someone rehashes it and it starts again, and it really just is what it is now.
It was hilarious to watch.
So let's
It comes up every now and then. It's great.
Shane
Well,
Wells says
You guys can
It
hear me okay,
holds-
right? Is there
it
a delay?
holds a mind. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. We can hear you just fine. It's just when we hear you, that's a problem.
That's a bit harsh.
Well, it is because you talk and then a minute later we can hear you, and vice versa. It's a little bit it's just not going to work. Itchy noses, I see. Well done. Okay, ram doors open. So Shane Wells says holds a mine door open, and that was the eventual consensus of what this thing the guy dug up in his garden was. Shane Wells, in for the win. You get yourself some t-shirts. Or did I give away steel this time, Timmy? I can't even remember. You can have the steel or t-shirts. I don't really care, Shane. Just tell Timmy what you want, and the next person can have some t-shirts as well. Let's just have a look. Some comments. Ram doors open. Well, close, Scott. It's expensive that it was for lifting rail iron. Expensive. Hey guys, jackhammer bit. Well done, Jamie. Well done. Dwarven door stop. Something really expensive. Keeps doors closed. Big chunk of useless iron. That's a pretty good one. Excavate a bit. Pretty excited. Yeah, the Horde ram was a fucking look. Anthony Kittle, you're right. It was a long fucking story. If you get out there, find the Horde ram post on the Facebook group, Australian Blacksmiths and Knife Makers. Ian's probably bumping it as we speak. What's that?
I just posted a comment on it, so it's right.
Oh, it's gone back to the top of the list. There you go, guys.
Timmy.
It's never going to end. It's never going to end. Look, there's lots here. I'm just going to pick a random.
5 years old.
I'm just going to pick a random one for the next, and it's not you, Ian. Jay Cross copied it straight off the website. Well done, Jay. I'll get Jay some shirts. There you go, Jay Cross. And I don't know who says it's a moil. I need someone to say it's a moil. Mining hole doors open. Rock crusher. It's a moil. It ain't no moil. That'll do. Facebook user wins again. Whoever you are absolutely crushing it tonight. But you can't win because we don't know who you are. It's a long fucking story. Anyway, look, whatever, that'll do. That's it. It's better off dead. Okay, good. We're all there. Everyone's commenting Moyle now, of course. All right, happy days. So we're going to wrap it up. Kev's computer's crashed.
My internet is fucked.
Mert continues to have shit internet. And
maybe you should move.
you can hear us now on time. You actually are not actually lagging right now, Mert. Talk to me.
All right, fuck you, PayPal. What else do you want to hear?
That's perfect. That's almost no lag.
Look, I can talk about Corey. One thing that everybody was asking me was like, yeah, fuck PayPal, but what's the alternative?
Yeah.
So
right.
I
looked
it up and tried to look for alternatives. So initially I was using Square when I went to knife shows. But one thing with Square is, please, by the way, please block Ian Reynolds at this second because he's about to. No.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Keep going. I'm trying to get you up in the front and center, Mert.
Okay.
It's nice to have you back.
Likewise. So Square, if you ever sell anything other than kitchen knife, Square will think that you're a weapons dealer and he'll block your account. This happened to Chad at Sydney Knife Show in 2018 or 19, something like that. He had a good show, and Square looks up the account and sees all of a sudden there's money coming in, big amount of money, and Square looks up at Chad's website or his Instagram page, and they pick up one hunting knife he did for his guild assessment, and they decide, oh, he's selling weapons, and they try to block his account, hold on to his fucking money and all that. So Square is out of question if you do anything other than kitchen knives. And even you do kitchen knives, Square has a one feature. If you're trying to take somebody's credit card payment overseas, Square loses their shit. They're not equipped to deal with this. So if you're selling kitchen knives and if you're in Australia, you can use Square. Keep in mind they're not the easiest to deal with. Another option, people were saying, why don't you use Venmo? Well, Venmo is also owned by PayPal. Venmo offers zero protection, and they're no different than fucking PayPal. They're out of question. I heard good things about something called as Payoneer. It's like a Pay, like a Oneer. Sounds like Pioneer, but it's Payoneer. Never used it. Have no personal experience. I use Western Union. I got good experience with that. And as I said, I'm using TransferWise at the moment. It's just like sending EFT among US banks. And since my TransferWise is linked to my Australian bank account, I can transfer money very fast and with minimal commission. And one thing that PayPal was fucking me up was the conversion rates. So TransferWise is great in that. And another thing that somebody pointed out was, let's say you're on a knife show. Somebody comes and buys a knife off you and says, hey, can I PayPal you the money? And you're like, yeah, sure. You're fucked. The reason that is, you cannot provide tracking info. So if a scammer comes and if somebody with bad intention comes to your table, they buy a knife off you and they say they want to pay with the PayPal, it might look very innocent, but since the knife is handed out and you're not going to be able to provide a tracking, you're fucked. That money is going to come out of your account. So somebody pointed out, never use PayPal in knife shows. Another reason not to use PayPal. And so in basic, what I want to say, guys, if you're selling knives, just go to a credit card based solutions, because you'll be paying something called as customer protection fee. You will not get a single protection shit whatsoever with the PayPal. And I'm glad I learned my lesson. Matt Snape. Matt, Square kicked you because they saw your fucking profile picture, okay? By the way, shout out to Matt Snape. He came here today. He visited me today, and great fella. Thanks for coming, Matt. And Kaya really liked him. He did not want to eat him at all.
Really?
Once.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Didn't even try to hump his leg.
No. Only thing is like he wanted to go outside. I'm like, when you come in, this is gonna all over again. He went outside. He came back in. Kaya lost the shit. Like, oh, somebody's in the house. I want to fucking bark my tits off. Like, yeah. And Matt's like, yeah, it's okay. It was great. Yeah, guys. Look, setting up an account with the other platforms like TransferWise, Payoneer, or Stripe takes 5 minutes. Okay, don't wait till shit hits the fan. Get yourself a credit card-based solution. You can do it over whatever website you're using, but open a system that allows you to take credit card payments, and never ship anything other than the designed address. One thing that I learned was through Dominic Binkert was, if you are, let's say somebody's buying something off your PayPal, and the address comes in the PayPal, and if the guy's telling you, hey, can you send it to this address? That's a fucking red flag, because in that case, you're not using the address provided by the PayPal. Even you trying to help the guy sending the exact address he wanted, it gives you no protection. So the guy might say, hey, this is the address that came with the PayPal. I want you to send it here. And then he'll go to PayPal saying, I received nothing. Well, all the money is going to fucking come out of your account. Justin Kirkland, cash or credit card is king. Pretty much. Credit card is the king. Saying that, credit card, there's also ways the scammer might use, but compared to PayPal, it's a lot safer. And the fees, the fees, man. Like I was saying, I was getting like a $1 Australian dollar to $1 US, and people are looking at the price on the thing on this much US dollars, because I was getting barely the same amount in Australian dollars.
Fucked. This is a bit of a shout out to Narelle as well. Narelle Wheaton, she's the secretary of the Knife Art Association. So g'day, Narelle. Good to see you on listening tonight. Wheaton Art and Crafts have started using Tyro, and they don't pay fees for every transaction like they used to do with PayPal. And so Wheaton Arts and Crafts is basically, Jeremy and Narelle have a little business going there, and Jeremy makes these beautiful knives. So, yeah.
Yeah, so my fellow cross people, don't be lazy. Just spend your 5 minutes, get yourself an account that accepts credit cards, and dish the fucking PayPal.
So Lee Cantwell saying, is it worth it for a hobby knife maker to use Stripe?
The fees are a lot lower than PayPal. I haven't been charged with anything. There's no yearly fee. There's nothing.
Beautiful. So probably yes, Lee, by the sound of things. All right, guys. I've had enough of technical bulls ups and issues for tonight. We've been on for an hour, so I reckon we call it.
Yeah.
Dino's there. G'day, you cabbage, giant cabbage, giant mouldy cabbage, and we move on. Tim, thanks for joining us, and thanks for saving my bacon when I was all by myself. I was getting a bit scared there. You might have noticed, but
you don't like being alone.
I really don't like being alone, and I'm in the dark too, so we don't want that. That's scary.
That's scary.
Mert, thank you for sharing your experience. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Thanks
result.
for putting up with my rant, guys. It's been a long time fucking coming, but yeah, look, I got burnt and I lost sales. I lost sales. I lost money on my shipping, but I gained invaluable experience, and I rather share with you guys so you don't fall in the same traps that I did.
And it sounds like it could have been worse too. You could have lost a lot more than you did. Could have been a lot worse.
Well, look, PayPal could have taken money out of my account, but since it'll be in a transaction that it was not authorized by me, I will have overturned by my bank. And in that case, PayPal will have closed my account, and I will have told PayPal, big fat, fuck you, PayPal.
Fuck you. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. So there we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to wrap up. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for listening,
if you won
guys.
something
See you
tonight,
next time.
he didn't send him a message. He's a lovely kid. All right, see you later.